Hi, welcome to Tony and Chelsea Live.
I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Tony, in case you couldn't tell from the name of the show.
And this episode is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform for creating a fast and easy website or online portfolio. If you want to try it out, you can do it for 14 days for free. If you decide to buy it, go to squarespace.com/Tony and you can get 10% off by using the coupon code
PhotoLive. But you don't even need it for 14 days, free, no credit card, anything like that.
Yeah.
It's a great way to make your pictures look better, or if you have a website for a business that you need. They're our sponsors, so thanks for letting us do this. Our topic for discussion is today. It was your idea. You pitch it.
We want to talk about 500 px or pixels or whatever it's called. Lot of
500px.com.
I've submitted quite a few pictures there, and I've noticed a lot of the time it's like a little bit of a popularity contest.
Yeah.
Sometimes some not so great pictures get to the top because it's a lot about networking, and I've seen other people frustrated about that. So I wanted to get your opinions. Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Do you use it? Is there somewhere else that you go?
What are the tricks you see people using to get to the top?
Yeah. I promise people candy.
Yeah, and what other social networks do you just prefer for photography?
I hear that Flickr is better now.
I haven't been to Flickr in so long.
It's way better than it used to be.
It's just gotten better, huh?
Yeah, the image quality is much better.
You want to just take a look at 500
yeah,
pics real quick?
Let's see, because the front page is usually pretty incredible.
I have to log in first.
Tony.
Oh, this is going to be... Okay, let's see. No.
What?
Do I just want to go to popular, I guess?
Sure.
Okay. So, like, this is a pretty remarkable moving car picture, so we see the taillights there. Sunrise picture, yeah, all gorgeous pictures. You know, I guess we were kind of saying that we thought some of these pictures didn't really deserve to be here, but these all seem like real...
That is...
this is not...
It's a good picture.
It's just not front page worthy. It doesn't have any pop to it, I think. And
Aw.
And same with that, like, this picture just isn't...
I feel bad. I don't want to put down the work of strangers, but I have noticed that there are other things that go into getting to the front page.
Yeah, well, some of these pictures are just, like, mind-blowing and special. Like, this picture is pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
I haven't been through these yet. This picture, pretty remarkable stuff,
yeah,
right?
that's...
And then, like, this picture, good picture.
Yeah.
But should it be on the front page? I don't know. And how does it get there? How do some of these pictures get to the top?
I've played around with it before, and I've noticed if I just put a picture up and don't do anything else, it'll get some pretty decent likes and favorites and things like that, get a pretty high score. But if I start networking, if I go to the front page and start commenting, if I start talking to other people, people check out your profile and they like your picture more, just as a way to say hi, or I don't know.
Yeah, and a lot of people do from the like flow that you saw originally. I see the people that I'm friends with in their pictures. So the more people you get your picture in front of, the more likes you're going to get.
Right. There's a strategy to it.
With 500 pics, you have 24 hours. After that, it seems like it starts taking points off of your picture. So your picture needs to hit it in the first 24 hours, which means you need to be ready for social networking the minute you put it up.
Yeah.
You need to post it and then try to spread the word to everybody you know. Facebook.
I don't do that.
Twitter, Flickr.
That seems obnoxious.
But that seems to be how you get the picture up here.
Well, I do notice that they try to level the playing field a bit, because at one point I remember just a ton of nude pictures were hitting the front page. And I think that they realized that even if a picture was mediocre, nudity would get a bunch of likes. So I don't know what they did to the algorithm, but they changed it.
Yeah, clearly they now penalize nudity only because it used to be 1 out of 3 pictures was a nude picture.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't like...
boobs are still a popular theme here on 500
Hey, we know Susie Need.
Oh, holy cow.
I like that picture, too.
Well,
that was in our stunner.
Maybe Susie's live and she can tell us what her secret is.
She sold her soul. No, that's just a great picture. That's her secret.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's right. I didn't mean it.
And she had a lot going against it, too, because this crowd, they don't like child photography so much.
Yeah, I was going to say kid pictures don't do real well. Well, go check out Susie Mead's pictures while you're online and give her a like and a thumbs up and a like and a favorite. And we'll get her right to the top.
There are a lot of kid pictures on the front page, though.
Yeah. You want to see if there are any comments? Jean Christophe says 500 pics is generally fine, but when you have 4,000 followers, whatever you post, you get to the first page. So yeah, he's kind of reinforcing that it's largely about getting a whole lot of followers.
Yeah.
So the question is, how do you get 4,000 followers?
I think it's networking. I think it's liking other people's pictures, commenting on them. Like, people know this. I think there's some strategy to it.
But what if you're an autistic person like me? That seems like an unfair disadvantage. I'm not good at making friends.
Well, you're doomed, and I've been telling you that for years. That's why you have me around.
Micah Heading says, I think 500 pics is my favorite. It's much easier for me to get noticed on a photo-by-photo basis. And I'll agree with that, especially when 500 pics was new. It seemed like social networking didn't really factor in, and I kind of preferred that.
Yeah.
Like, it really was the great pictures that made it to the top, and people's personalities, how many friends they had, didn't seem to matter as much.
Yeah.
And now it seems like it's really shifted towards more being a social network.
Yeah.
About having fun.
I have to say, when I first started doing it, maybe it was like 3 years ago, something like that, it seemed so super important to get to the front page. And then once it started getting watered down with all of the, like you said, the social networking and kind of there was strategy, then I just thought,
Yeah, that's not the fun part of it for me, like being friendly with people and commenting.
We don't
and stuff.
even like
For me, it's
people.
about like, it's almost like photography as a competition. And that's
but
what
it's
I
still
always
really
liked about
fun. It's almost like a photo game.
it. Yeah.
It's fun.
Micah also said, a lot of people after they post a photo scour the fresh or upcoming sections and favorite many of them to get noticed in return.
That's
So,
what I was talking about.
yeah,
That's
you
what
said
I
that,
figured that out.
I think there is almost an unspoken agreement where you go and you like somebody else's photo for them liking yours.
Yeah.
Not about the photography, but again, if you're trying to get to the front, that's probably a good
It's
tip.
fun. It's fun.
Jean Christophe said that at some point, sharing your 500 pictures on Facebook granted points on the pictures. You could share your own picture to get to the top easily. He says at some point, I haven't seen that. Maybe they added the feature and took it away.
Yeah.
Vincent June, by the sheer volume of photos on 500 pics mitigates against getting a high score, but if you're unsure of a photo, if it gets no votes, then you know.
That's a good point. I have put up pictures. Sometimes I'll put up 2 pictures and I'm unsure which one I like more, and I don't do anything. I don't talk to anyone on there, and if one gets more votes than another, then I can kind of gauge which one is better than the other. So I will sometimes use it as like an anonymous voting system.
Well, you know me, I'm like a scientist first and foremost. So I've done experiments on 500 pics where I put the same picture up on different days. Like I'll put it up and then I'll take it down.
Yeah.
And I'll try doing it at different times of day, different days of the week. I'll try promoting it or not promoting it.
Yeah.
And even if I do nothing different, just putting it up one day after another, it can make a huge difference. Like
Yeah.
a big part of it is luck. Because unless you have friends, your picture shows up in the news section. So somebody has to be browsing the news section to even see it, or you will get no likes. And often a great picture can get no likes. If you get a few likes from the news section, then you can hit the upcoming section where more people see it, and then you can get more likes. But if you don't get to upcoming, then you'll never get anywhere near. So a lot more people look at upcoming, and you can kind of work your way through the upcoming, and then finally you can get like to the first few pages in popular.
I think
and actually get
also,
noticed.
I think STP has spoiled me, because if you put your picture in STP, people give actual feedback, but on 500 PX, is it PX or pixels? I don't know. People just be like, nice, cool one, good one. I like it. It's so boring. The comments are really boring.
Yeah, or they're trying to lure you onto their own page.
Yeah.
Like, check out my pictures
Yeah,
too.
they always
Liked
say
and
that.
fave. L plus V.
Liked
or
and
L
fave,
plus
check
F.
out my pics.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I ain't no pico.
Jean-Eric says that, Jean-Eric, I don't know. He says that you can't replace your photos on 500 pics. You have to remove it and then put it back up, but it's not the worst thing because that restarts that 24-hour counter. Like after 24 hours, every day it takes away some points from your picture, which means you have to get it in the first day or you'll never be up to the top.
Yeah.
That means that the pictures at the top aren't the best pictures of all time. They're like the best pictures of the last day.
Yeah.
Which keeps it fresh. That's the only way for it to
Yeah,
work.
it does keep it fresh. Erky asked, why is it important to get to the front of 500 PX for 5 minutes? Or pics. What?
Erky must not be a competitive person.
Erky is, and I know you, Erky. I know you were trying to get to the front for a while. I was too.
But you're right, there's no reward. Even if you get hundreds of thousands of people seeing your picture, like I've gotten I don't know that I've gotten to the front page, but I've had very popular pictures, and I've not sold a single picture through 500 pics. I never had anybody contact me to give me money or hire me
Yeah.
for something like that.
Personally, for me, I found myself thinking about changing my photography knowing that there was a formula. And that was the
Yes.
point where I was like, I'm out. That's so cheesy. I'm not going to do some cheesy thing so that it will be mass liked or something.
One of my most liked pictures on 500 pics was not one of my best pictures. It was a very mediocre picture. It was literally a snapshot of you and Madeline or just holding big cameras because
Yeah.
we were out taking pictures. And it was just a candid snapshot, but it was two girls with big cameras.
You were
And
destined
everybody
to win.
on 500 pics is a photographer.
Yeah.
That's another problem with it. You know, they're not people who appreciate art. They're other photographers. So you're
Yeah.
trying to
I
appeal to
appreciate
other
art.
photographers. Yes. Well, but I'm saying most people who appreciate art are not actually photographers.
Yeah.
And all photographers, they judge their pictures, other people's pictures a little differently than the average person who would simply look at it and gaze upon it.
Yeah.
They think about your gear and the sharpness and stuff that doesn't actually matter as much as they think it does.
Okay. That's a valid concern.
Perfect forehand. Always got many compliments on any photo I uploaded 500 pics. I know deep down I weren't going to evolve this way, but that's why I chose submitting them to you guys so I can get some constructive criticism. Yeah, so he's saying Stunning Digital Photography, the readers group on Facebook, actually gets feedback from people, and you
Yeah.
can say, oh, you know, I feel like this is overexposed or whatever. And yeah, you don't get that.
We're not up against
On
them
500
though.
pics.
Like I'm not trying to bring up some competition. It's just a different. It's
Yeah.
a different ball game. Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought of 500 pics as a place to go to get critiqued. It just isn't. But it is
That
kind of a
having
place
been
where you
said,
get
which
judged.
places do you think are better?
Yeah,
Justin,
besides
you
our
were
readers
showing
group.
us a
Oh,
page
go ahead.
today that looked really good.
Yeah, actually.
What is it?
That was 1D. I have it right here. I had it pulled up and I don't know where it was. Let me cut back to you guys and I'll pull it up. I think it's 1D though.
I put you on the spot. It looked good. I liked the pictures on the front page.
Yeah, Eric mentions Viewbug. What did you say it was? 1D? 1V?
I think it's 1D. I have it bookmarked, but I just have like so many bookmarks. It's just crazy now, but I'll get it.
I'll let you look it up because I'm afraid of typing in random URLs into Google Chrome. God only knows what's going
1x.com.
Okay.
I don't know where 1D came from.
I wonder what the play on words there is. Is that like a crop factor for full frame? Yeah, we browsed this earlier, and I will say that just browsing through this front page, I think the average picture here is better than what we were seeing on average on 500 pics. Don't you think? Like, this is the kind of picture I like. It's simple and abstract and artistic. All of these, actually. Let's see what's popular here. This picture, I think, is fantastic.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
And I love abstract photos like these.
Go in that gorilla.
Oh, look at this. Wow.
Yeah, that's a great, well-balanced shot.
Yeah, so to my eye, these are, on average, far
How
better
do they
than what we
do
saw
it?
at
Is this
500
the
pics.
same type of points or something? Is it a similar point system?
I don't know. Do you know, Justin?
No, I
Okay.
don't. I just know they have like quite a few contests, and I just come through and browse the photos, but I've never participated or anything, unfortunately.
I want to be a part of it.
The
We should
pictures
try
are better
it.
too. All right, we're into 500 pics. We'll see how this works. It only seems to have like one
1x?
comment. I don't see a score here. How do I know if I'm winning?
How do
no
I know if
score.
I'm winning?
Check back and see if there's any new comments over here. Yeah, Wesley Anson puts it concisely. He says subject matter tends to trump
I
quality.
know.
on many of these
That
sites.
always bums me out in SDP too, because you can have a moderately attractive woman and the picture quality is not there sometimes and it gets more likes and it's not right. Or I do it all the time if I see a squirrel. I can't help it if the squirrel's cute. So I can relate. I can't blame the individual. It's just unfortunate.
By the way,
Squirrels and girls. Am I
squirrels
right?
and girls, yeah.
Squirrels and girls.
And camera gear. People
Squirrels,
love pictures
girls,
with camera
and
gear
camera
in it.
gear.
So we got to get a girl and camera gear
I'm going to write a tell-all book.
and a squirrel.
It's going to be called Squirrels, Girls, and Camera Gear.
That's
So
the
look for
secret.
it.
It's the new 42.
It is.
This is Dogfish had 90 Minute, which is like 9% alcohol beer. So it could get crazy by the end of the show. What are you drinking there, Charles?
This is Pinot Grigio from a box.
Class act.
And as though people weren't judging me enough, I went there.
I'll talk about that. It's the black box wine.
Yeah.
So I feel like Americans at least have this real hatred of box wine because for the first 30 years of box wine, it was all super, super cheap.
I don't think there's
terrible.
any country that's like, bring on the box wine.
Oh, really? I've heard that it's more popular outside
Oh,
of the
really?
US.
It tastes just as good as bottled wine, and you can ask Tony. I can taste the difference. I'm a super taster. I can taste anything.
Yeah, so they sell the same wine in bottles, and it's all very highly rated. It's just packaged differently. And so if you can let go of that bias you have against boxes, the box packaging works so much better for wine.
Yeah.
Because you can pour yourself one glass and don't have to worry about the rest of the bottle going bad. Whereas especially with red wine, it goes bad after like a couple of days.
Yeah.
So just pour yourself one glass, and then you can just enjoy one glass with dinner once a week or whatever.
Yeah. Some people I know, they'll have like a bottle in a night, but we tend to just we don't drink.
Yeah,
much.
if you're knocking
we
back
drink a
whole
lot
bottle.
on camera, but in real life, we don't really
Yeah.
drink very much. So
And it keeps it fresher, and also it stores like 4 bottles in a fairly small space.
Yeah.
So if you are drinking a lot, you don't have to be.
Ooh.
You know how when you're after 2 bottles, it's really hard to get that cork open.
yeah, I can never get the cork open after 2 bottles.
You don't think like the plastic lining on the inside as opposed to the glass of the bottle would affect the flavor whatsoever?
I've never tasted it.
I think it's just the opposite. I think.
Wait, but glass doesn't give flavor?
No, the glass doesn't, but the corks usually do.
Oh, that's true.
The cork can
Yeah.
break down and get in your wine, and they say that the plastic is designed to be completely neutral.
Okay.
Anyway, get a good quality box wine, give it a shot, and do a blind taste test. And I promise you won't know any better. Junie Pix loves Instagram.
Jan Eric says, I feel like a creep because I mostly keep faving and liking artsy female nudes on 500 pics. I've done it too. You're not a creep. But, oh gosh, maybe this is a bad suggestion, but you guys should try out the nude section because sometimes people get real weird on there. Like I've just had a whole afternoon clicking and gasping. Like I'm like, oh, it's really fun. Justin, you're laughing. I know you're going to try it.
There is something creepily fun about bad nudes.
Bad nudes are one of the most fun things to look at.
So many people, I can't tell you how many times I've recommended to people, like, just slow down on the nudity because
Too much
dudes,
cringe in one
they
picture.
get into photography and right away they want to take naked pictures of chicks. And
Yeah,
I'm
they're like-
how about you work on a nice headshot first? How about you do a fully clothed portrait and
Yeah.
spend like a year getting posing and lighting down and stuff? And no, they're just like, I got a chick that wants to be naked. I'm going to
They're
take
like-
pictures of her. And you just end up, oh, she doesn't know how to model and you don't know how to take pictures.
The light's
and
bad.
It's just really bad. Yeah, it is not sexy or cool. I mean, congrats, you got in a room with a naked chick, but how about you work out the basics of photography before you start taking clothes
At least
off?
it's entertaining for other people.
Yeah, entertaining and like, oh my god.
And like how many cringes per minute.
Yeah, more than the Larry David show.
I love that show. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, so Jen Eric is explaining that the 1X pictures are curated.
That
Erky
explains
says
it.
that only like 3% of submissions to 1X get through curation and published.
Wow.
And so I actually,
That-
they have like people monitoring it like a stock agency, I guess.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty remarkable. Now I definitely want to try it out.
Now I want to try it. I love rejection.
Okay, well that's a challenge to everybody. Put a couple pictures up on 1X. We don't have a relationship with them. I didn't know about them before today. We'll do the same.
Okay.
And we'll reconvene next week at this time. Talk about how it went. You want to look at a portfolio?
Yeah.
This is cmd77.com. They
CD.
submitted it last week.
CDM.
If you want to, a CDM. If you want to submit your own portfolio or a link to a photo to review, go to sdp.io/link and we'll take a look at it. You can do that live right now. And we'll look at your photos live. This is a beautiful picture. Ooh, sensor dust there. Easy enough to fix.
You love this type of thing, this full screen picture.
I do. Can you guess where this website is hosted based on its beautiful full screen design?
Squarespace?
Squarespace.com. You can go to squarespace.com/Tony. More sensor dust. Gotta be careful for that. It happens to me all the time. I just have to clean it up. These are, I love that you have a theme for all these pictures. Nice long, These look like nice long exposures, so the water has like a misty look.
Yeah.
Beautiful lighting, nice simple compositions with no distractions. And this is the type of work that I like.
So you admit that you're biased.
Yeah. This is as if you saw a whole picture of black and white squirrels. It would just be what you were into.
Okay, well, I understand now. Right away, I think there's so many beautiful pictures, but I would pare it down just a little bit. Hey, Oak Alley.
Oh, in Louisiana. Oh, yes. This is familiar. Oh, man, that's great.
Wow.
I have a picture of Oak Alley, too, but I love that you put a person there. Mine, I had to, I photoshopped the people out. I had the same problem, but you're just like a little bit off center. And most people won't notice that, but it's something I try to be as careful about as possible. That's a beautiful, beautiful plantation in Louisiana. So you have complete control over the layout of the menus and everything, and this is a cool layout. It's all just kind of linear, but I see that you do have it organized by location, and you don't see them unless you bring up the thumbnails.
Yeah.
So you might want to just put sub-menus under here.
Oh, those were taken in Sweden.
Yeah, those are from Sweden, and
I knew
Do
a
not
guy
know
from
that
there
place.
once.
yeah, he's dead to us now.
Well, yeah, now, but we were friends with him.
He's not dead to us.
He gave us candy.
Okay, so I
Uh-oh.
didn't mean to do that.
You broke it.
I'll jump back to the thumbnails here. Anything else you want to look at?
No, I thought he had nice pictures. My advice would just be to narrow it down a little bit because he has a few very similar ones.
Yeah, narrow it down a little bit.
Oh, I
and-
love the tilt shift.
Yeah, I wonder if he's got a legit tilt shift.
You can do it in Photoshop.
Yeah, or it might be a Photoshop thing. It's never quite the same in Photoshop.
No, it's
I want a
not,
real
but it still
tilt
looks
shift.
cool.
All right, he's got a picture of himself.
Michael. Ooh.
Okay, I like that. You can't hire me. Good. I was gonna say maybe you want a pricing page or a store, but good for you. I am an amateur. I'm a fanatic of photography. I'm not trying to make money. There's something very pure about that.
I
because you're
I
just
wish
doing
he
your own
would say,
vision.
"You can't buy me, bitch,"
Maybe he'll
since
do
he's
that
already
now.
sassy.
But you can contact him, but don't try to hire him because he's not for sale.
I know I was born and I know that I'll die. The in-between is mine. I am mine. I really love that quote too.
Yeah, that's nice.
I mean, I just heard it now, but I do really like it.
Let's see what Michael had to say about his portfolio experience at Squarespace. Michael says, Michael Nickel, my experience was great so far. I'm an experienced user. I know HTML and CSS, but I didn't need it. Those are just technical web building technologies. It was all very easy to figure out, and even when I ran into a minor problem, the very friendly live chat figured it out in under a minute.
Yeah.
So there's a techie, and like me, he actually did run into a problem setting it up. It was user error on my part at least, but either way, the support staff helps you fix it right away.
I think you can trust his opinion because this man cannot be bought. And
That's
so we
true, he
know
says it
he's
right there.
honest.
They are our sponsors, so apparently we can be bought.
I can't be bought.
No, you know, the other day we got an email from somebody that was titled "Squarespace is a scam," and so I immediately read it because I was like, if they're doing something scammy, then we will drop them.
Yeah.
But then his whole email was saying great things about how glad he was to be using Squarespace.
Yes,
and
and
then I
then
wrote
he
back and I
said-
was like, what's the scam part?
He was like, "There's no scam. I just knew you'd pay attention if I said that." I was like, "You're the scam, sir."
You almost made me fire my sponsor. No, they're not a scam. We've been really happy with them ourselves, and we wouldn't endorse them otherwise.
Yeah. People
And
do
Michael
ask
likes
us
them.
when they meet us. They're like, "Do you really like Squarespace?" And we do.
Yeah,
They don't believe us.
and we do get a lot of people just saying, "Hey, thanks for turning me on to them. They worked out great."
I didn't expect you to finish that sentence the way you did.
Oh, I wanted to mention.
We saw this one, but what?
Oh, we did.
What?
Photoshop, Lightroom, and a whole bunch of Adobe apps have updates. If you own Lightroom 5, the update's free. If you have Adobe Creative Cloud, the updates are free. If you have earlier versions of Photoshop or whatever before Creative Cloud, there's no more updates for you forever. You have to get Creative Cloud. So they had a lot of kind of minor updates, but I think if you have a new camera or lens, like we have the GH4,
Yeah.
the new Lightroom 5.5 update allows you to open the RAW files finally. So you don't have to use a stupid Panasonic software, which sucks. But anyway, just go check for updates and you'll be able to get
We
them.
need that.
Yeah, I got it already.
You got it?
Yeah.
I didn't. Justin, did you get it?
Oh yeah, 10 downloads.
What? I'm the only one that's
Oh,
behind.
for updates for all the different apps.
Yeah, just all the Adobe. Yeah.
Justin, are there any cool comments or?
Anyone say anything entertaining?
There's, I know I've talked to you about this, Tony, but I don't know if I ever got like the app name or anything. But Jan Erik Advartsen is asking, what's the best program or app for consolidating photos to upload to all the social sites with one click, including Facebook, Tumblr, etc.
Lightroom, I guess, would be my choice because you can get plugins for Lightroom that will upload to just about any social network. And I'm already in Lightroom because that's how I organize and do most of the editing of the photos. So yeah, just get Lightroom and Lightroom plugins. If you don't have it already, and this is not an endorsement because we don't make any money from it, but Adobe has a Creative Cloud plan that's $9.99 a month, less than $10, and you get Lightroom and Photoshop both with free updates forever. So $10 a month is a great deal for all that software.
Yeah, that
and
is
it's
a great
exactly
deal.
what a photographer needs. I think it's called like the photographer bundle or something.
Here's a great question. Jean-Christophe asks, real question, where is the limit between rules of photography, like the rule of thirds, exposure, etc., and art? Can you break every rule in the name of art? Yes. I really encourage people to break rules. We have to teach them first because you really do have to know rules before you break them. But then if you keep following them, it's going to get really boring.
Yeah,
so I highly suggest that you break rules. Like the rule of thirds, you don't have to use that all the time. And the golden ratio, you don't have to use that all of the time. I'm trying to think of a good one to break. Oh, exposure. That's one of my favorite ones to break. I love to blow out highlights. I love to overexpose things. It just has a clean look to me. So
rules of balance are an important one too to break sometimes. Like some of the best photos have absolutely terrible balance. I think as far as the breaking the rules go, like you said, learn how to follow the rules first.
Yeah.
That's important. But then break them deliberately. Because sometimes I'll see somebody who like put something just barely off center.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, well, I'm breaking the rule of symmetry. And I'm like, if you want to do that, then you need to break it a lot or it just looks accidental.
Well, I think the individual knows. I mean, if you fall in love with your picture first and then justify breaking the rules, you're probably not doing it correctly. But if you have a real vision or if it just looks right to you or if you do it intentionally, then it's okay. You just have to know the rule that you're breaking and think that you did the right thing.
Yeah. In other words, make the horizon level. Or if you're going to not make it not level, make it quite unlevel. But don't make it like a little off level. That's a little off.
Our group is a stickler for rules. I've put up photos with Dutch tilts before and people are just like, no. Maybe it didn't work for that particular picture.
But that is kind of a rule, Dutch tilts in itself. But yeah, you wouldn't want a Dutch tilt that was 2 degrees. You'd want it to be 20 degrees or 15 degrees, something noticeable.
Mine did have lines in the background, so it wasn't really working.
Yeah.
I guess, but.
Don't break the balance, rule of balance by a little bit, break it by a lot.
Yeah.
And have a point to it.
Yeah, there should be a point.
Quick question, what printing lab do you and Chelsea recommend?
MPix.
Yeah, we
use MPix a lot.
No association with them except we're customers, but they're great.
I haven't used many other lab stuff, to be honest.
Perfect Forehand asks if taking up painting makes you a better photographer. What do you think? We took up painting for a while there.
We've done painting, but I also learned a lot in art history, and I think that it taught me a lot about just composition and putting symbolism in your art. So yeah, I think broadening your horizons and trying all different kinds of arts will definitely make you a better photographer.
Yeah, it's an art, and I actually felt like making me being a photographer first made me a better painter too. Yeah. Because I know how light hits leaves and what light looks like when it shines through a sky that has some humidity in it. And most people don't. They think the sun is just a round circle in the sky. Yeah. They don't know that, it highlights things. But as a photographer, you start to notice light and just how the world behaves around you.
That's true.
How it looks. People don't see that. Where can I adopt Chelsea?
Tony got me at the Humane Society.
Yeah. And,
very affordable.
so far things are working out, but if she has
not
any more
house trained.
accidents, she might go back to the Humane Society. So yeah, go to the Humane Society while
Sorry.
you're there, maybe grab a dog or a cat, but maybe Chelsea will be there too.
I will say dogs and cats are far more obedient and agreeable. So, might be a better option for the average person.
Jerry Johnson says that if you're looking for photo critiques, besides Stunning Digital Photography, Fred Miranda has a good website to get photo critiques on. It's also a very, it's one of the nicer photo sites.
What do
I
you
don't
mean nicer, like
hang out there.
polite or
Yeah, constructive,
constructive?
as opposed to every other photography community, which is just filled with jerks.
I'll try to check one out sometimes, and they just argue over the silliest
And they
things.
go on and
They
on
get
about
so
just meaningless
violent
stuff.
about it. They get really personal because they
Yeah.
disagree about lenses or something. I'm like, I'm out of here.
Who cares? What stock agencies do you recommend using? You're a little closer to the individual stock agencies than I am.
iStock photo.
Oh,
What?
that's a rough one to start with.
Not to start with, but
No, that's like the last one to go to.
you know what? It's really hard now. Things have changed a lot. I know. Which ones do we use?
Well,
Actually,
it's changed over the years. They've gone up and down.
Shutterstock.
Shutterstock we still get fairly big checks from Shutterstock every month. The
Yeah.
other sites, it seems like they've kind of died down.
Yeah.
And iStock is still big too, but iStock is still also a real pain. They're just very, very picky.
They're picky, but I think that that's good for learning if you don't mind a little rejection.
Yeah, I would get some accepted at Shutterstock, and then maybe consider iStock. iStock will reject 2 out of 3 pictures from like Yuri Arcurs and the people who are the best in the business.
Yuri never gets rejected.
He does all the time from iStock.
Really?
I don't think I think he only does his own work now, but at the time,
How do you know?
Because he talked about it. He was like, iStock's a pain in the ass, and
I remember there would be like one flyaway and they would reject my picture.
Yeah.
But then by the time I'd get done editing it, sometimes people would be like, you look like plastic. But iStock would accept it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's all good, all a good exercise.
Tony, what do you think about the super zoom lenses, like the 18 to 200 or 16 to 300? I think if you don't want to change lenses, get that, but they're less sharp. I mean, depends what. It's a trade-off between versatility and sharpness, just like zooms versus primes.
I'm trying to put my finger on why I don't like them. I usually like, I don't know.
They can be very unsharp.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Because we never use them.
Yeah, and that's why, because it depends what your standards are. I mean, if you're just putting pictures up on Facebook, if you want a casual camera to walk around with, that'll do you just fine. But I always want the opportunity to take a picture that I can sell and use and do anything with. I don't want to be there to catch the perfect moment and then end up with a blurry picture because I didn't feel like carrying an extra lens with me. I would be kicking myself if I was there and didn't get the picture.
That happened to us in Europe.
Yeah.
And it was so sad.
When did that happen?
Well, in Amsterdam, the streets were so small and we didn't have but which lenses were we using actually?
You're right, I did not bring a super wide angle lens.
No, we didn't have a super
to
wide
Europe.
angle.
And part of the reason was that I've been having a lot of success making handheld panoramas lately, and so I figured I would just do that.
How'd that work for you?
I don't know, I haven't gone back to compile.
I saw you doing that. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I know what he's up to.
Yeah, but especially in the churches and stuff, sometimes I wanted a...
Aren't you so
super
tired
wide
of
angle.
churches though?
This seems like when you're a tourist in Europe, yeah, you see old churches and mosques, and then like museums, all with Renaissance and Egyptian art. And so it can be amazing, but like after 3 days, even the Louvre begins to look pretty boring, right?
No, you know what it was? I think because we saw St. Peter's Basilica.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I've seen every church rolled into one.
Yeah, once you've been to like the Louvre and the Vatican, every other museum kind of sucks. I still like to go to modern art museums, contemporary
Yeah, remember
art.
the time we saw that huge baby? I wish we had a picture ready for you, Justin, to show that
I
off.
think that was in
We saw a
Copenhagen,
baby, damn, that was a big baby.
an artist who makes super realistic sculptures. He made like a super hyper realistic baby that must have been like 20 feet long.
Yeah.
Like it must have weighed 5,000 pounds equivalent or something like
Oh,
that.
I don't
It's
know
like
what
the
it was
size of a
made
small
of.
elephant. Yeah, I
It
don't
was
know. But it
big
was
baby.
amazing because it was just hyper realistic. Like every pore was visible. And
Yeah, that was cool. Okay.
you want to look at a portfolio?
Yeah. What? Oh, okay.
Studio Bailey. Look at this lovely full screen immersive interface. He's hosted on Squarespace. We'll see what he has to say about it. Let's look at his actual pictures. I do not get this first picture.
It's a surfboard.
Nice.
Oh, I don't know why I saw a bowl of bananas.
Because you're a crazy person. You're
Alright.
a crazy man.
Did you got that picture, Justin? Like you saw
I
it?
didn't
and-
know it was a surfboard. But
Maybe you guys
it
just
was
don't have
crazy.
surfing in your soul like I do.
So maybe you want to reconsider that very first picture. Like this picture to me is really eye-catching. And I really like this picture because, you know, I like abstract. But that one,
Maybe it's not all about you.
surfboard.
Surfboard.
And these two look like the same girl, right?
Yeah.
And that can be okay, but just put some space between them. Like, I don't want to see them on the
Try
same
to trick
page.
us a little.
Yeah.
There's a lot of her. Here's some great pictures.
Yeah, I feel like...
Wait, he or she.
Oh, well, let's go to the About page so we can
Yeah,
address them
let's-
properly.
But
Okay, so
Byron.
it looks like a
I
man.
love that name, like Lord Byron.
Here at Studio Bailey. Okay, grew up with two creative parents. Okay, so
Of course you did.
let's check out his studio
Lucky
work.
man.
That's a very cool shot.
Yeah, that's a cool shot.
I like that. Good use of symmetry there.
Yeah.
It's one of the better pregnancy shots I've seen. Okay, so we have like 4 different models here, but kind of the way you've grouped them is we see this blonde gal like several times in a row, and then we switch to a different blonde gal. I would just mix it up a little. Like instead of putting these 3 blonde gal pictures together, like just
Blonde gal.
until you get a wider variety of models where you can have more diversity, just put more space between those
Or
pictures.
have them wear Richard Nixon masks. You laughed at that, but...
This is street photography.
Wow, that's cool. I like the birdcage alley.
I've never seen anything like that.
Me
I wonder-
either.
The birdcage. Okay. Oh, okay. Now I'm viewing things full screen. Where's the thumbnail thing? It's up here, right? Yeah. Okay, that's good. I feel like that all had a good amount of diversity. This is this commercial work. Oh, I see. These are like ads for the clothes, like
Yeah.
a fashion ad. Well, that's a clever idea. Like
Yeah, that's clever.
it evokes somebody going skinny dipping and kind of throwing their clothes out.
Sassy.
Nice watch shot. I don't feel like I have too many suggestions.
No,
The
this
number
one's
of
great.
photos is great.
Yeah.
The work.
He left
quality
me
of work is
wanting
really good.
more, which is always good.
Yes, you're right. That is a better thing to do. Based on the fact that he has like studio and commercial work, I would assume that he's for sale, unlike Michael. I don't see a page here called pricing though. I see contact, and maybe that'll tell us how to get a hold of him.
Okay, well, let's look.
Okay, that tells us how to get a hold of you, but it's still, if you want to be hired, you need a pricing page.
I don't know.
What?
I know. I'm disagreeing with you on the live show, but I'm not so sure.
Why do you think you don't need pricing?
Because sometimes you need to feel out the gig. That's what contractors do. That's why people come to our house and then try to charge us $1 billion to do the crappiest job ever. It's your job as a contractor
It
to
is
make
open for
everybody
debate,
miserable.
But I will say that you'll probably get 5 times more calls if you have a pricing page.
Yeah.
Even if it's just for the most basic stuff and then you talk to them.
The pricing page is always interesting because sometimes you get the people that are like lowballing and they're just putting all other photographers out of business. They're like, oh, take pictures of your whole family for $100. And then sometimes you get the sneaky photographer where there's like a sitting fee and like a Photoshop fee and like a consultation fee. Before you know it, you're paying a fortune for pictures.
You know what? And it could be an American thing too. It just occurs to me, like when we're in Turkey, nothing has a price tag. Because they want you to go talk to them about everything and they want to size you up.
Are very uncomfortable when it comes to bartering.
Yeah, so I know in America you need to put prices on your portfolio page. Maybe Australia is different. Maybe they barter there. I haven't been. Maybe somebody out there has thoughts on whether pricing pages vary by cultures. I know you pretty much.
I know
even
in
America.
Australia, a guy on YouTube told me they have cane toads in the toilet sometimes, so they're living a whole different life, and they're living on the edge down there, and so they do what they want, and I respect that.
Let's see what he had to say about his experience with Squarespace. Would you like to read that?
No.
Squarespace was super easy to set up and get up and running. I have no web design experience, and I was up and running in one night. Love the template you can choose from. I started shooting only 8 months ago. Holy shit. And I've been using Squarespace from day one. So for a starting photographer, it has made my life a little easier. I can't believe that guy's been shooting for 8 months. You have a great body of work for 8 months. Holy cow.
When you got it, you got it.
Yeah.
That's not true. You got to practice. You probably practiced a lot.
And so I think our only feedback was mix up your pictures a little more.
Yeah.
And maybe get some more models into the
Yeah.
studio.
Get
Just
some more models.
Diversify it a little bit. Feedback, Justin? Comments that we should read?
Justin? Cane toads in the toilet, Justin?
I'm just perusing. There's like so many comments and questions. There was some good stuff though. You've never used a Zeiss 21mm, right?
No.
Either.
Sorry. I haven't used everything.
Well, you were just talking about this. Lenses for travel photography. Do you think the Canon 400mm f/5.6 is the best quote-unquote cheap lens for wildlife photography?
Yes, absolutely. That's our favorite lens, the 405.6. It's like $1,000, $1,050 used.
Favorite lens?
For wildlife?
For wildlife? Oh,
Yeah.
I like the 500, but...
Yeah, the 500 though used is $7,000.
Yeah, but you didn't put any price restrict. I mean, I'm being difficult.
Yeah,
That's our favorite lens within a price, like within a budget.
yeah. Though I'll say it's also my favorite lens if I have to hike anywhere. Like if I have a distance to travel because it's so nice and lightweight. Yeah, it's better than a zoom. It's just
Yeah,
better.
I like
There's
it
no
better
zoom
than
that
the zoom.
I can keep up with it, and it's so good that beginning wildlife photographers, I tell them to go to Canon rather than Nikon because Nikon doesn't have an equivalent, and they need one. They don't have one.
A lot, but now the Tamron has the 150 to 600 or 600.
Not as sharp as that. 600 in quotes. Yeah, Darlene Watkins says she hates to stop and change lenses while traveling. And then she asks what a good walking around lens for travel is. I mean, for us, we went with the Sigma 24 to 105 f4.
Yeah, I loved it.
Unbelievably sharp,
Yeah,
pretty
really
good
sharp.
range. A lot of people are going to want one of these super zooms that's like 18 to 300 millimeters. They'll be sacrificing sharpness. With that Sigma 24 to 105, sharper than the Canon,
Yeah.
you can get sellable commercial sharpness results.
Yeah.
Which you can't necessarily get with the Canon or a super zoom.
I really enjoyed it. It was a great lens to have.
But I've not done a comparison of super zooms because, like I said, it's just not my thing.
We should do it.
Yeah, I should just borrow
People
a few.
love super zooms.
Yeah,
I think
there
because
is
the
value
name is
in
so
not-
cool.
They do sound like they have some sort of powers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, Darlene is asking. Says she's shooting with a T3i, so an APS-C Canon. And what's the best walking around lens for travel? The 18 to 135 kit lens is very good and reasonably sharp. If you want pro grade sharpness for that, get the Sigma 18 to 35.
Yeah.
It doesn't have image stabilization, but it's an f1.8 lens, so it's real fast. Otherwise, I don't know, your kit lens, maybe you want a super zoom, but like I said, that's not in my wheelhouse. What social media platform is most useful for a photographer trying to grow a business?
Probably Facebook.
Yeah,
Because they have an
totally
older
Facebook.
demographic, and those are the people that buy things. There are more parents on there, I think. And also, there's a really competitive atmosphere on Facebook. If one person gets really great baby pictures, usually their friends want them too. So I think you get some pretty good word of mouth in there.
Yeah. So that always shocks me that Facebook is now for old people. Because when I signed up, it was still like mostly for college kids, so I felt a little too old to be there. And now somehow it's too old for me to be there.
No, kids, they like,
Yeah, the kids, our friends, like our nephews and stuff, they're not really doing Facebook.
no, they do Instagram, Twitter,
Yeah.
and some things I haven't even heard of
Yeah,
because
stuff you
apparently
haven't
I'm
heard
too
of.
old.
Snapchat.
Snapchat, which is like, what are you doing?
Why don't we upload the Google Hangouts on YouTube? A good question. I don't know. I didn't think about that. We don't have a whole lot of experience with Google Hangouts.
We don't. But that was fun. We had so much fun on Google
Yeah,
Hangouts.
I would like to do that some more. I
We
wish
made some
you
new
could
friends.
Get more people into it because I think it's limited to like
You
10
can.
people.
No, I think we limited it. I think you can get more.
Well,
You
we'll
can't?
have to look into that.
Okay.
Maybe you can. I'm not an expert at it, but I like being able to interact with people two ways. Do you think post-processing is a must for a picture to pop? Or do you think taking a well-composed and well-lighted picture can capture the same results?
Oh, I think a well-composed and well-edited picture can get the same results. And I'll have to say that a lot of people that try to compensate for maybe lacking photography skills with post-processing, I can always tell. It seems cheap to me. Can you tell?
Yeah, absolutely. 'Cause
It looks
you do
cheesy.
see pictures that have almost no value except that they've been Instagrammed to hell.
Yeah.
And it's just some really basic picture. Okay, Alvin Tran just sent us a link to his portfolio at sdp.io/link. So sometimes we pull links from last week because we have them ready.
Okay.
But this one came in live, so let's take a look at Alvin's
Let's see.
Squarespace hosted portfolio. So we see a mix of kind of environmental portraits and a few landscapes in here. That is a great shot.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love the sun. She's kind of looking over her shoulder. The bright red color, plenty of pop in that.
I like the girl with the boat. That's really cute.
Okay, so he's got it kind of organized here. That's a great shot too. Though
I think it's
would like-
underexposed.
I was gonna say I want to see it raised like 2 stops. I want this to be near bright white.
I'm going to disagree with you. That's not his best shot.
Did I say it was his best shot?
I'm going to put those words in your mouth so that I can disagree with you.
Well, what do you think is his best shot? What do you think is his best portrait?
I liked the girl with the boat.
Oh, back on this first page.
Yeah. That one's nice too, of the girl in the white dress.
Yeah, that is just a nice, classic, by the rules portrait. Very nice. This is nice too. I feel like this could maybe doesn't match the quality of the other ones.
It's
It
a bit
feels very
square.
casual.
Yeah. Same with that one.
Yeah, this feels like a family snapshot.
So he needs to pare it down a bit. I like this one with the girl in the boat. I think the exposure can be brought up just a tad.
Yeah, don't be afraid to blow out some of these highlights. That's all right. And that's a nice shot too. This one, I don't know that it fits in with the others. So he has portraits and then more. And I guess more is just everything. That's okay.
What?
People hate it when I guess locations.
Did you think that was Boston?
At first glance I did, but then I knew it was not Boston. And then I continued to try to
He's
guess
in
it.
Washington.
Oh, all right. So maybe it's Seattle. Would know I've never seen Seattle on a sunny day.
Tony.
It's true.
That's because you've only been there for work. When they send you there for about a hot minute and then make you come home.
Yeah, thanks Microsoft.
Stick you in the temp
And
office
they don't let
in
me
the
out
basement.
during the day either. When they do, they stick you in a closet.
They put you in a
It's
closet and say it's an office.
cliche. Okay, you have a good about page. You have a picture of yourself. You list your services here, but I'd love to see some prices.
Yeah.
You're in America. We people like to see prices.
No, we just.
Oh, all right. So he's actually got a little store set up.
You're
Okay.
in America.
He's set up a store which is free on Squarespace.
Cool.
It's easy to do.
I've always
at the
liked
basic
that
level,
about
they give you one
Squarespace.
item. At the higher levels, which are just like $1 more a month or something, you can get more items. So that's cool. Nice work, Alvin. I think we're saying.
Wait, one thing. Go to the home.
Yeah.
I don't think that first picture is his best picture, and it should be.
Yeah. You're right. You liked the kid in the boat.
But he's selling senior portraits, so that's his item for sale. So I think that he should put up a portrait of a young lady. Probably the one of her, back a little bit. That was a good one.
Oh, the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe decide what you're trying to do. Are you trying to sell senior portraits? If so, you might want to make a category called senior portraits.
Right.
And go with a set of classic senior portraits with kind of the classic poses and, let people get right to your prices. Overall, I think pare it down a little bit. We kind of gave you some clues as to which pictures we thought might be dropped.
Yeah.
But talk to other people too and just
Talk
ask
to other
them
people.
which pictures pop. Lead with your best picture, end with your second best picture. Go to sdp.io/portfolio for a video about setting up a portfolio with tips, and then portfolio checklist for our checklist, which has a list of things that you should look at.
Got it all going on, Tone.
You got any comments for us, Justin?
Yeah, just a few. There was.
Wow, it's 5 of 6.
Yeah, it's. You mean 6? Like getting close to 6?
Wow.
Oh, yeah. We'll wrap it up in a minute.
Yeah.
Time to get your last pictures in.
There were a lot
I
of
wanna
people who really hated that hat. There's just so many comments here.
Hated that hat.
What hat?
Grant Goddard, the Notre Dame hat you were wearing for a while there. Grant Goddard says, "Looking great tonight, Chelsea. Love the hair, and Tony better without the cap."
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just my hair. I have no control over what my hair is going to look like. My hair turned out all right today. So I was able to go without a hat. But look, if my hair decides it's going to be a dick when I wake up, then I'm going to have to put a hat on it.
Have you tried Midas Touch by Dogfish Head? Somebody was suggesting that as well.
Oh, no, I haven't. My local liquor store does not carry that, so I've not tried it. But
Wait, there are 2 gray spheres in that room. One is the globe, and the other one is Tony's head. I love jokes about your head.
yeah. Somebody suggested we have a TNC cheese eating game. Every time we take a drink, they eat a piece of Velveeta.
You telling me fat?
I don't think we looked at the new Velveeta Facebook.
Oh, I hate
Picture.
them. I hate them so much. They freak me out. Is this the one with the baby? No.
It is pretty terrible.
Oh, here we go. Terrible? What do you mean?
It's horrifying.
Who doesn't want more of me?
Look at that creepy baby. That's a creepy baby.
9,300 shares, 1,700 likes.
What? What?
Oh, did I say
Oh,
93
shares.
I was-
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks,
Someone said
Velveeta.
the cheese is strong with this one. Someone in our SDP group said that you're our Lord and Savior Jesus. And I posted it on Twitter, and then Velveeta retweeted it. So now everyone knows you're Jesus. He said that you gave a sermon on the Mount and used 1 bowl of queso to feed everyone. That's what he
We have to
said.
read that whole quote. It was pretty hilarious.
Where is that? That was one of the funniest things I've ever read. Let me.
Do you think you can find it
This is
quickly?
how we will end the show.
Twitter and it'll pop right up.
Yeah, this is how we need to end the show because we all read that in the office and just laughed so hard.
Okay, well, I think her name is Erin DeGroot. Specifically asked, she posted a link, but then asked me to look at her portfolio too in a comment. So I got to look at her portfolio. You look that up, and I'll just talk about her portfolio.
I have it.
Oh, you got the quote? Go for it.
And thus it became known that in a faraway land there lived a man, gray-haired and wise beyond his years. His name was Tony, but to his disciples he came to be known as Jesus. His disciples were many and came from all across the known world. Jesus would walk the land, and people would bring their sick images to him, and Jesus would look at their images and say, "I will crop this and increase the exposure," and behold, the images were saved. And so it happened that one day Jesus and his disciples came by a mountaintop, and there they rested, and the people flocked to him to hear his sermon about crop factors. And before noon, there were 5,000 of them. They became hungry and restless, so Jesus asked to gather what his disciples had for food. And they came back to him and spoke, "O wise one, we have only this 1 box of cheese-like substance. How can we ever feed all of these people?" And Tony spoke, "Have faith, For I will make them queso, so all may be fed. And the miracle happened where all came to him and dipped their fingers in the queso. And all were fed, only slightly. And most still went home hungry. And some said, Hev, this isn't real cheese. That's like one of the best things anyone's ever written about you.
Yeah, that's wonderful. The only nit I had to pick is please don't put your fingers in the queso.
You can't put your fingers in queso.
No, you get a chip.
You get a chip.
I mean, even in church they give you a chip.
Yeah, but you're Jesus. You should have made chips for your people.
You're right. I guess if you got to pick between chips and no queso or just queso.
You get the queso.
Yeah.
Yeah. So love times 5.
Yeah, let's look at our portfolio real quick before we check out.
Okay.
So right away it looks like a family portrait photography. I don't see any sub-menus or anything, which is good. I like to have not too many
I
options
like the two
here.
touching bellies.
I like that too. That guy's got some confidence. This is a really nice picture.
I love that too.
Yeah, that's a beautiful picture, and so is that. I do feel like she led with some really strong pictures.
I like the girls in the blanket. That's sweet.
And this is a great family picture too. Great coordinating outfits, nothing too distracting. Very cute family.
I like that everything doesn't have the same filter.
Yeah, there is some variation there. I really like the mixed eye contact. That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite looks in a photo.
That's really
It's
cute.
common in stock
I love his
photography. Great
suspenders. He's
backlighting.
got it going on.
Yeah, they really did a great job with the outfits.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, well, the photographer probably deserves some portion of the credit for that too. You almost always have to talk to your clients about outfits. Great set of pictures, and thanks for not overdoing it with 100 pictures and a dozen
Yeah, I
categories
love
and stuff.
her
That's just
about
perfect.
me picture too.
Yeah, that's really adorable, and that is definitely somebody that you'd feel totally comfortable calling, right?
I want to call her. I want to be friends with her.
I want to eat that.
I want to eat her daughter's treats.
And look, she's got pricing there.
She's got pricing.
You are batting 1,000.
She is. See?
I don't even know what feedback I'm going to give.
Oh, I know Erin DeGroot from the group.
Oh, yeah.
She knows that Siobhan is cute. All the more reason to be friends with her.
And she's
Siobhan
got,
is so cute. Don't you miss Siobhan being right here?
yeah, I
Remember
think
she
we
was
gotta-
here?
We got to get...
Now we have a globe. Way less entertaining than Siobhan.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Do we need...
We need more
is
Siobhan.
it better with a guest? Have you seen the latest portfolio review where we brought in a guest to critique? Is that better? Or are you just sick of hearing just us?
God, I'm so tired of me. I'm so tired of
We need
you.
more other people in. I think we should have more guest people
Yeah.
in. We have a third chair. Sort of.
More Siobhan.
We need to buy a third chair.
I would like Justin, but he's so busy over there.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys. And
Thank you.
thanks to our sponsor, Squarespace.
Squarespace.
If you want to set up your own awesome
Squarespace.
portfolio, tell them where to go, Chels.
Squarespace.com/Tony.
And then use the coupon code PHOTOLIVE. If you want 10% off after your 14-day free trial, great way to make your pictures look great. And if you want to send us a link to a picture or a portfolio so we can start the show with it next week, go to sdp.io/link. And of course, subscribe to see more free videos from us. Check out our book, Stunning Digital Photography.
We never plug our book anymore, and people love when we do that. Book.
Yeah, buy that book. We have DVDs and stuff for people
That's
who
me.
hate books.
So much me.
Yeah, just you in front of
Me,
you,
me,
and
me,
you can flip to pictures of you.
me. me.
Okay. Thanks,
I-
guys. See you next week. This is our new time, by the way. Thursdays at
5.
5 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
Thanks. See you soon.
See ya.